1978. I was injured as a firefighter. I had a warehouse collapse on me. Spent 81 days in Crozet Chester Burn Center, and that started another career. I took a strange fall out of a lawn chair, landed in the grass, and the next day I know I just had nothing but pain in my lower back, in my right leg. And I didn't do too much about it, I tried to nurse it myself. But after about 6 months, I finally found out that I had 2 slip discs sitting on my sciatic nerve. And that started my journey of recovery. Went in, had surgery, everything went fine. Turned around, sent me to rehab. Rehab was very good. I was like an inpatient there. From there, I went home and everything was fine. I was home for less than 3 weeks, getting around, driving, no issues. One of the ladies down the street came in and checked on me, see how I was doing, and she took one left look at my left leg, and she said, "You need to get to your doctors immediately." I wound up having MRSA. Back into the hospital I go. So now I go into the hospital, turns around, I get through that. Once again, they send you down to a rehab hospital. Well, I was there for a while, and my children decided, "Dad, you're down in Delaware, and you need to come home." So they brought me back up here. They turned around and put me in an assisted living over here in Washington Township. And I was there for about 6-8 weeks. Woke up one morning and my right leg, ankle was completely swollen. Could hardly walk. Over to the hospital I go. I have cellulitis. While I'm there, my oldest daughter, she's like a dog with a bone, doesn't want to give it up. She told the doctors, "I want you to check him out from head to toe." And that was a blessing in disguise. So they started checking me out. And what do they find? They find a blood clot in my right leg, thigh, and one in my right my right lung. Emergency surgery, pull through it. Everything's going fine. Okay, let's do a chest x-ray before we release you. What do they find? Fluid around my right lung. Now they have to decide how they're going to take care of that. Figure it out, drain the water out. Getting ready to go back to the rehab hospital, and over I go. I'm there for only less than a day. I have severe pains in my abdomen. Back to the hospital. Easiest operation of all. They had to take my gallbladder out. That starts my therapy. When I was in the hospital that last time, I was in there for almost 7 weeks on my back. I was so weak, I couldn't turn left or right, laying flat in the bed. And therapy started. In the rehab. They got me to not even a walker, I would say. I was using a walker, but I was still basically in a wheelchair. And this was this was October of 2023. Now we turned around and I have to go into a assisted living place. The place I wanted to come was Cardinal Village, but they weren't able to take me because of my level of care. So I went to one of the local ones here, and I was there for about 6 months until I was able to come into Cardinal Village. Well, with that said, I came over here. In between, I had seen therapists. The therapist at the other wasn't set up to handle somebody like me. I'm still in the younger age, and I get around very good, and they just didn't have the equipment or the time where I was. And Margaret comes down to see me, one of the therapists here, and she says, I need to see you. I said, Margaret, I understand you need to see me, but I don't have any time left. She came back a couple days later and she says, I took care of everything. You can start next week. And that was the start of it. I worked completely through till November and used up every bit of PT and OT I had. I was doing pretty good. I was so good that December, I went to Florida for 2 weeks to visit my brother and sister.
Terrific.
I'm walking with a walker, using the cane a little bit. And then the end of January came around, and back into therapy I come here at Cardinal Village. This time I have her husband, Paul, and he starts working with me. And we've been working now for about 6 weeks. I'm no longer using the walker. I'm no longer, very seldom, using the cane, and I'm walking pretty good. Still need some strength. They worked on my balance. They got that going, and today we're still working on getting my balance back to where it should be. These two people, they are the greatest therapists I have ever come in contact with. And they study and they figure out different ways to help you along in therapy. It's not the same old routine. And we have a lot of fun in there, laughing, giggling, you know. Margaret was a soccer player, so she had me in the hallway kicking a beach ball. Getting the leg kicking, just holding on to one hand and kicking it. And that things like that make it very interesting. They take personal pride in each one of their patients. Yes, I would highly recommend it. I've already recommended to, I'm in the independent living side now, I'm no longer in assisted living. I have numerous times I've said to people who have come in, or this is where you need to go. If you need therapy, they will take care of you.